Don't feel bad when I'm down, I'ma be okay. This red gon' come right back around, I smack the BOA. Only the members don't come round if you ain't down one. We go back like Tom Brady on a shotgun. Knew I was finna be great when I came out the wound. They hate that I'm a butterfly that came out that cocoon.
About to work on my wife's G35. You gotta take off all this stuff is in this region here. Top plenum intake. So we're gonna start by taking off this intake. Let me show you what I did. Okay, I loosened this clamp right here. I slipped that bad boy back. After I took out this 10 millimeter screw from the side. After I did those two, this was able to pull back. Squeeze this with some pliers, slide it off. And then down here, I didn't even bother with none of this stuff in the middle. I just unclipped these clips. It's a 10 millimeter right here, but mine was already broke, so I didn't have to worry about it. It's a clip down here. You just want to unhook that clip right there. There's another one down there. Unhook it. And then, there we go. We just go slide the whole thing out in one piece. Like I was telling you, if you can get it out in one piece, do that. It'll save you a whole lot of time taking off the unnecessary. Top plenum is coming off. So as you can see, that sensor back there on the throttle body gonna have to come off. This hose right here gonna have to come off. You're gonna have to take these bolts from around the outer diameter, perimeter, and also in the center. Alright, so I got all the bolts out. At least I thought I did. You see that bolt right back there blending in, covered in dirt and all that. You gotta take that out. I was pulling on it like, man, why this Mama Jamma ain't coming up? And then I see him playing peekaboo. So it's one more right there in the back. That one look like it's gonna be long, but I'll let you know when I pull it out. So I'm gonna loosen it and see if that's why this thing won't come up. Let's find out. I was right. See, now it'll come up. So that bolt almost had me tripping. The length of the bolt is this one. It's the same length as the upper bolts. It's too long for the lower one, so keep that in mind. Now it's time to pull this bad boy up and see if anything attached to it. So you want to pull up slowly just in case you miss something. You don't want to rip no wire harness, vacuum hose, water line, whatever the case may be. I know it's a couple water lines back there somewhere, so let me find out. All right, as you see, I got it lifted. There's two water lines back there that I can see so far. One of them is can you see that back there? This is one of them. It goes right under the intake manifold. So to me, you can raise the plenum. It'll give you some room to get to it easier, or follow that line. That line, it goes down and it stops right here. Now, you see that right there? Yeah, right there. It's easier to take it off from down here. It's a water line. It's a lot easier to take it off from down here than it is to fight from up under there. So when you lift this plenum, this whole line gonna come with it. No big deal. So that one's done. There's one more up under there. Let me get to it and I'll show you where it's at and how I took it off. Alright, so it's one right up under the bottom. You got the throttle body right there. Right up under it. It's that bad boy. So I got the clamp. You just, put a pair of pliers on it, squeeze it and pull it down. Depending on which direction this clamp is facing to where you squeeze it, it'll make it easier or hard for you. Mine wasn't in a too bad of a location, but once you squeeze it, twist it, put it in the position you want it to be, so when you go put it back next time, you can get to it easy. So I twisted it to where I can get to it from this angle. Tip to get these hoses off that's been on there for years. Don't just pull on them. Been on there a while, they stuck, they've been crimped, the heat get to it. What you want to do, you want to break that seal. Breaking that seal, all you gotta do is twist it. If you can do it with your hand, cool. But most of the time, you can try to twist it, but it's too hard to do it with your hand. So what I do, I just get a pair of pliers, Don't grab it real tight because you don't want to put a hole in the hose, and just lightly twist. And you'll actually feel it give, because it'll be hard in the beginning and then it'll free up. And when it free up like how it is now, it should be a lot easier to pull off. This is the water line. See how that just pulled off? I just broke the seal by twisting it, and it come right off. So it's gonna leak a little coolant, might leak a lot of coolant, I don't really care. But that's the water line. I just wanted to show you how you can get these bad boys off without fighting with them. Oh, it didn't leak a lot. I should be able to take this plenum off. Let me see. And I was correct. After taking off this water line in the back and the one that went right here, you can now lift it off. Alright, so this go around before we put the upper plenum on. Go put this block plenum spacer on there, just to kind of give it a little more airflow. They say for the 03 to like 06, you can benefit from it. So I figure all this gonna be torn apart. Might as well put it on and see what happens. This is not a race car. We don't plan on racing it. Just doing stuff just to do stuff, okay? So according to the directions, before you lay this thing on, even though there's a gasket on the top of the lower plenum, they want you to put gasket maker on the upper and the lower side of the spacer before you set it on there. So I have silicone on the lower side, also on the upper side. Now I'm gonna show you what you have to do to the top plenum. Set this thing on there. To get this top plenum on there, they want you to put these spacers, these big old spacers right here, 6 of them. They want you to put them underneath before you install the top plenum. Now, there's only one problem with that. You gotta flip this thing upside down to install it on top of the engine. Of course, this is gonna fall off. So what I did to try to help keep it from falling off, I put some gasket maker right on each one. So when I put that in there, try to line it up, put it on there wide, line it up, put it on there wide, line it up, put it on there wide, line it up, line it up. So that should hold it. But also what I'm gonna do, the ones at the top, it's the long bolts, 3 of them, okay? The ones at the bottom right here, it's the medium bolts. So I'm gonna go ahead and slip them through and put them through these holes to make sure these are lined up properly. Slip the bolts through, make sure it's lined up properly, and then set it on the engine. And hopefully everything go well and it don't fight me too much. So alright, as you can see, I'm running out of sunlight, man. I've been out here all day. Now I got this plenum on there, everything is hooked up, we looking good. Now it's a few things I want to discuss. When you put these spacers in, right here is a stud. The stud is usually to help you align the manifold, but also you put a nut around it to hold the manifold down. Well, that stud is too short. The instructions that come with the spacer doesn't tell you anything about that stud. Well, I'm gonna tell you to save you the time. That stud has to come out. Where is it? Matter of fact, I'll show it to y'all. It's 2 of them. The stud, it looks like this. It went here, and then it was another one, I believe, either right here. Oh, I dropped it. Good job, Daniel. We'll get it later. Either it was right here or right here. Both of them have to come out. Once you take those studs out, then a bolt will fall through, and you can put all the bolts in. But the instructions didn't tell me I had to remove that stud. But I noticed when I sat the top plenum down, that stud didn't come all the way through. It was too short. So remove that stud. Please remove that stud. It'll save you a whole lot of time of putting the plenum on and having to take it back off to remove that stud. So remove those 2 studs before you try to put all the bolts in. Other than that, it was wasn't too bad. After I put the silicone on the spacers underneath the top plenum, it held it. I was able to align it, and that's pretty much it, man. We back together. I just gotta put on the intake and put this clamp back on that vacuum hose, and that's about it. So let me get that intake on and we try to fire this thing up and see how good of a job I done. Give me 1 second, 1 second, man. And voila, she's all put back together. Woo! That's gonna be a wrap, YouTube. Look at that. Put it all back together and she clean. And that's stock clean. Ain't no aftermarket pretty intakes or nothing. Just stock clean. So if you like this video, holla at your boy. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe. I need you to subscribe, please, man.